Hi everyone, this is my review of the Soul E35 Elliptical machine. I've had it about a month now, so I figured I'd give it a chance and then I'd do a review on YouTube. I've already done a movie showing the assembly, the complete assembly of this unit, and now I'll show you some of the features and what I think of it. It's a pretty nice unit, very quiet. I think it's well built. It's as good as a lot of the ones I've used in health clubs, I think, as far as value and quality. So it shows some of the features actually on top of the foot unit where the rails slide. And these are very smooth rails, and you want to make sure they don't get any gunk and dirt and build up on them. When they do get dirty, it can affect, actually make sound, and they can actually squeak, and you think the squeak's coming from somewhere else on the unit. Actually, it's coming, 90% of them they say is coming from these rails. So you'll want to lift this up and you'll want to clean those rails with alcohol and then reapply some of the lube that they give you in the kit. So there's just a little bit of lube on it and then they're very smooth. This unit, compared to last year's model, the 2013 E35 Elliptical has a bigger flywheel. It's 29 pounds versus 25. They've improved the display to a 7.5-inch display instead of a 6.5. from last year's model. They've changed the display to where they've added the side buttons, the quick buttons for incline and the level, like the resistance level. They've got these programs on the bottom, so it's a whole new face, plus it's an inch wider screen, lit up screen. The model above this, which is the E95, has even a different lit up screen than this one. Looks more like a speedometer in a car with the gauges, and it's kind of cool looking. It's more expensive, more pricey, but the manual for this one, it includes the E35 and E95, both of them in this manual, so the rest of the body is all the same. Here is the fan, which everyone complains about on a unit, on any kind of exercise unit. It actually does do some good. You turn it on, it does blow some cool air in your face, so I think it's worth having, but they're not very powerful. The sound on here is worthless. If you plug the headphones in here and use the internal speakers, the speakers that are on here, not great sound. So you're better off using your headphones or cranking the music in your room. We'll go into some of the features and we'll show you how it runs and how quiet it is. They give you a little Soul water bottle to put your water in. The handle grips here for taking your pulse are not accurate, as they are on most equipment that you buy. I've found them to be 15 to 20 beats per minute off from what normal is when you take your carotid artery pulse. They're not accurate at all, which is a nice thing with this E35. It comes with the heart rate transmitter monitor that you strap around your chest, and it feeds right into the machine wirelessly, so it monitors your heart rate. This does not come with the E25 unit, but you can buy it for that. But on this E35 and E95 it does come with the unit, which is nice. And you'll see the big flywheel unit here. And one thing I really like with this year's model is these new multi-grip handlebars. Most ellipticals you see out there just have a straight bar, but this one adds the diagonal and then the horizontal, so you can grab it up near the top, you can grab it with palm down, and you can grab it with palm in, or the normal way. I found that I switched all three. I like to use all three grips. I'll switch off from time to time, and I really like the new handlebars, which are new for 2013. And you can also have control of your incline, and over here is the power resistance level, and over here is the incline on the left side. You can do it right on your handlebar. When I first got it, the only thing that was wrong with it was the level for changing resistance on the handlebar did not work. Everything else on it was working, so I called them. They rushed me some parts within 2 days for a new switch. Then I got a hold of the repair people who came out, and when they got here he found out that the wires inside the handlebar were just switched. So once you switch them back, it worked fine. You didn't have to replace anything. So the factory kind of got those switched around, but beyond that it's been running really good. For about a month I've had it. I'm impressed how quiet it is. And you can sit and watch TV in the room and no one really hears your machine running. One point is, if you have squeaks, then you either need to lubricate the sliders in the back, Or you need to go, if that doesn't work, you have to go to each one of the joints where it moves, take off the plastic housing, and tighten up each joint that you assembled when you started. If the handlebars aren't real tight right here, you're going to have noise. So you might have to take those joints back off and retighten them. You should not have squeaks with this unit. It should be very quiet. Some of the features here on the display, you've got all different programmable modes here with a manual, a hill, fat burn, cardio, strength, interval, and then you've got 2 user programs which can be programmed individually for 2 different settings exactly the way you wanted it. The incline you want, the resistance you want, all the way through the process, how many minutes you want, and you get it set up for you, and then you can name it with your name and go right back to that program. I like doing the manual. I like setting up the user protocol the way I want it for kind of an interval. And then you've got 2 heart rate programs, 1 and 2. Heart rate 1 is set up for 60% of your maximum heart rate, which is more for a beginner. And someone that's kind of in shape is heart rate number 2. It's set up at 80% maximum heart rate. And you can adjust that while you're doing that program by using the up and down level for resistance, which will all of a sudden change where your heart rate will be targeted. But in order to do that, you use your the heart rate monitor that you put around your chest, and it feeds off that, and it keeps you at your target heart rate. So it'll increase the incline and the resistance automatically to keep you at your target heart rate, which is kind of a nice feature. However, it's a little slow to response. When you first get on there, it really cranks up the resistance, and you're working really hard, and then after a few minutes your heart rate's gone way too far, so it backs you back down, and after a while it kind of levels out. But it's a little slow to catch up to your heart rate. But it's a great idea to have that automatically adjust your target heart rate. The way you calculate that is 220 minus your age will give you your maximum heart rate. You should never get to your maximum heart rate when working out, and then you take 60 to 80% of your maximum heart rate. And that's where you should work out at. That's your target heart rate. If you're a new beginner, start at 60 or 70. If you're someone who's kind of conditioned, then you can work out at 80% of your maximum heart rate for a good workout level. I'm a physical therapist, so kind of acquainted with exercise routines and recommending for people how to exercise. And I think the elliptical machine is an awesome workout because it works the arms and legs, and way harder than just my Stairmaster or other bike machines. Elliptical I think is a great idea. Easy on your joints, your knees and ankles and your back, because there's no compression like as in jogging or running or treadmill. If you're going fast on the treadmill, that's a little jarring on your joints. So I find this is really good for people with knee problems. What I like about this new display is they've added these quick access buttons up to level 15, but I think you can actually go up to level 20 if you're using the manual setting for incline and resistance levels. Easy access there. I like the way it's set up here. It's a nice. This new panel is a really nice setup. So once you go to choose, if you've already programmed like I have the user 2, I've programmed with my own manual program. You can see the ups and downs there, and it's built in my inclines, it's built in my resistance. Set up for 35 minutes. You just start pedaling, and then you push the start button, and it starts going right away. If you want to watch, the one thing it doesn't show on the display is your resistance level. It shows everything else on there. It shows the incline up in the corner. It shows your time. It shows your RPMs, your distance traveled, and your pace, which I think is your minutes to do a mile. It's right down to 24 pace, 24 minutes for a mile. And it shows you a graph of your resistance. And one thing I wish it showed automatically was your resistance level. In order to do that, you push the display button, and you can put it on whatever you want. So I put it on resistance right there. It shows level 4 with a maximum of 14 in this program. So you can always change your display to actually display that level, that resistance level, which is good. So I still can see it. On the model above this, the E35, it has a graph that shows you your resistance level right on the screen, so you don't have to move to it. Otherwise, if you want to change your incline, you can always either push the handlebar or just hit one of these fast buttons, and it shows you how. For a quick second there, it showed you where all my inclines were for this workout. If If I want to go back down to 3, you can see where all my inclines are for this program. Then it jumps back to resistance. And you can hear, if you can hear, there's not much noise going on right now. Maybe my joints are noisier than this, but certainly very quiet. No squeaking. I've found that there's quite an angle on these foot pedals, so in the back you can adjust and make a higher angle on them, like 3 different heights. I keep them as flat as possible because the nature of the elliptical, they're already tipped forward, so I don't want any more angle to that. That's my preference. I also found the first few weeks I was trying it, my back started to hurt after about 5 minutes. I couldn't figure that out. After I started playing around with it, I had it on incline of just 1, and it actually wasn't as natural. When I started putting it to incline of 3 to 6, actually my back felt a lot better. So it's actually good to have some incline built into your program. Okay, so here's working the machine. Pretty quiet. It's way quieter than our treadmill. It's even quieter than my Stairmaster. I can tip this up. You can see the handlebars here. Like I said, it's got the 3 grips. You can do the normal grip like a normal elliptical. You can do the outside grips, which I've grown to like because then your arms are spread out a lot wider. It seems to give you a lot bigger range of motion, more workout. And sometimes I'll drop down to the palm down, which is really a nice grip right there. I'm very impressed with the handlebars. Didn't know if I'd like all those different ones, but I do. Fan makes a little noise. You probably can hear the wind. And I feel a little breeze on my face, so it actually does make some difference. But it's not fantastic. It's not going to cool your body down. And as I said, you put your hands here for pulse rate, but it's very inaccurate. As you can see on here, pulse is 125, 124. The actual heart rate monitor that you strap around your chest is pretty accurate. I've looked at it and it's typically within 5 beats per minute or less with an accurate measure of manually taking your pulse. So overall, I'll turn the fan off. You can see it's a lot quieter with the fan. Very impressed with it. I've used 2 or 3 different kinds at health clubs, and I think this is just as smooth and as well built as any of those. In fact, a lot of them you cannot stop and go in reverse. I've tried it. You try and go in reverse on some of them, it stops counting your minutes and stops counting your progress. But this one's designed to go backwards, so usually the last 2-3 minutes of my workout I just stop and reverse it and do a cool down going backwards to kind of get your muscles a different way. And you can work out this direction too, so all your numbers keep going. And you can just hear it. You hear the motor running. It's adjusting my incline automatically because I programmed that into my user number 2, which is really nice. It automatically changes that. It does everything automatic, so it's quite versatile the way you can program it. So the E35 Elliptical is a new model in 2013 with a lot of nice new features. You can get it for $12.99 at Amazon.com or right from the manufacturer at Seoul Elliptical. You can buy it from them, same price, and they're both free shipping. They both use an external carrier, usually a local carrier, like from my town here. They got it on a semi and delivered it to my house, put it right in my garage. So it was pretty painless delivery. You'll want to watch my video on the unboxing of the unit and carrying it upstairs or downstairs, because that is an issue. You need 3 people definitely to carry that flywheel. But I'm very impressed with the unit. I think it's a middle of the road price with a really good buy, you drop down below 1,000 and you're getting pretty cheap, and they're just not as smooth. They're just not as quality. You can go to places like Sears and other fitness stores that have 8 or 10 different models you can try, and the Sole ellipticals I thought were a lot smoother. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and good luck working out.